Hey guys, Scott here. Before the video continues, I just want to say a quick shout out and thank you to our sponsors. Project EXT has been instrumental in helping us support both the Digimon and Dragon Ball communities with tournaments and product, as well as giving you a discounted price. You can find the link below with the code LPG5OFF on orders over 50 USD. We'd also like to thank Card Market for providing us with vouchers. For those who are just signing up to Card Market, we also have vouchers to give you a little bit extra to start buying with. Card Market, one of the best places to get singles in Europe. Enjoy the video. What's going on, guys? Scott Sedman here for London Players Guild, and we are breaking down the archetypes of the Dragon Ball Super card game, and we are starting off with the newly revealed Agents of Destruction, and I say we because today I am joined by Guildmaster Peter.
Hello, I'm going to sound weird because I'm in the middle of moving, so all my setup is taken apart.
Yep. So yeah, first of all, Peter, initial thoughts on the new AOD stuff in general.
So people who know me will know I'm not a sticker for art, but come on, the art is amazing on those AODs.
Yes, that's very true. It's very true.
I like the fact that, because they spoiled a long time ago that there's going to be a leader for AOD, that it's going to be a Boo leader, and I like the fact that they're going to be making this an actual archetype. So I was really excited. This is the reveal I was waiting for. And I was wondering why they didn't spoil it early on, how they did with the other archetypes that got 2-3 cards. Because I assumed it's going to be a leader that does something and maybe 1-2 cards. No, we got 10 cards total for AOD.
Yep. So we thought now was as good a time as any to break down every single Agent of Destruction in the game and basically say what we think about them. So we'll start with a leader. Babidi, leader of the Agents of Destruction. Cool. Starts off nice. All Agents of Destruction have no specified cost. This is what it's. That's a permanent, and that's on the Awakened side as well. When it's auto is when this card attacks, add up to 1 card from life to hand. Look up to the top 5 cards from your deck. Add 1 Agent of Destruction card to your hand, and that's just the name, not special trait. So
yeah, so this is so it can add a spoiler, so it can add the unison cards.
Yep.
And extra cards and whatever else.
Basically, so any future Agents of Destruction, right?
Yeah. Which makes me think that when inevitably new mechanic is going to hit the game, new card set possibly, they're going to come back to AODs again, and I like that. This is a rainbow archetype, and I kind of like those because they're usually quite gimmicky but fun.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. So it's a pretty generic Awaken when your life is 4 or less. Untap 1, draw 1. And
so the card is simple on the front side. I'm just going to go here a bit.
Yeah.
It against slower decks, like for example Milnemba, you can choose to self-awaken. Against faster decks, you don't need to take that life, and you will always look at the top 5 for AOD that you currently need. And it doesn't matter what it attacks. Like, that's huge.
Just anything when it attacks, right?
Yeah. You can attack a unison to remove the counter, also the marker, and still search the top 5, which is amazing.
That is really valuable, yeah. And then obviously he awakens him, taps 1, and flips over to Majin Buu, leader of Agents of Destruction. So again, same permanent, they have no specified cost. Activate main, choose 1 Agent of Destruction. This time it is the special trait required, with an edge cost of 2 or less in your hand, and play it. And an activate main of once per turn, pay 3, choose 1 unison card with Agents of Destruction card name in its in your hand, and play it with 3 markers. It's pretty good. So it's like you would play it for free anyway, but yeah.
So
run us through it.
The permanent doesn't work on unison cards. So this thing here is to let you play unison cards as a free drops, as any free energy, which is just free is the most average one. The problem is you can't choose to pay X and then play it with X markers, which I think would be a bit better skill, because it would keep in with the unison card being a unison card. You can play it with as much as you want, and it would nullify the specified cost as it's the AOD thing.
Yeah,
I think we could maybe specify that it needs to be at least 3, so you can't drop the Vegeta or Nemba on turn 1. But I would like to see it being at 3 or more.
yeah, the option to add more to it would be nice. Yes, I could see that. But overall,
the skill is quite strong,
Yeah.
and here we actually see the same design that they did with Toa. This leader does not create card advantage on the flip side.
Nope, it does not draw.
So you do not necessarily want to awaken as soon as possible.
That is something to take.
Toa was always very careful about when it wants to awaken, because if you awaken too early, you will run out of cards and things to do. Usually that's countered with controlling your opponent's hand, which, let's be honest, AODs are going to be doing quite well as well.
Oh, yes.
But yeah, it's interesting to see that they kept the same design, because we haven't seen the design like this on a monocolored leader beside anniversary boxes, which makes for anniversary box leaders to be one of a kind, and I like that, because it makes the product interesting.
Right, it adds another dimension to an archetype that people want to play. Like, people wanted to play Toa, and they got an interesting way of playing Toa. And then, obviously, now we have Agents of Destruction, and a different way to approach Agents of Destruction, which is nice.
Even if that leader had even the simple draw 1 card when it attacks, it would be busted with those skills.
Yeah, you're just like, I'm going to rip your hands apart, but I'm still going to...
Because you will be able to play the cards for free, and then get more cards in hand to play.
Yeah, that's insane.
The fact that it is how it is.
Yes. So, let's move on to the original Gangster Vegeta Agent of Destruction. So this is all the way back in set 6. It feels like forever ago. But yes.
The only red AOD.
Only red AOD. Not the only Vegeta though, so that's okay.
Yeah.
When you play this card, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with 25k power or less and KO it. Doesn't ignore barrier. And then activate main if your leader card is red. So that's automatically ruling out the effect on this leader. Yeah. You have to pay 1 blue, 1 unspecified, and you gain 10k double dual, which is a good effect, but it's just such a weird effect as well.
So when AODs were made, this was clearly designed to work with Pan, which back then was still a popular leader.
Mm-hmm.
So this was supposed to push Pan into the blue-red direction, which I've seen some people do. But the card on its own it's a 5-drop, 30k double strike dual attack. Yeah. The only blue cards you could really play in Pan well were Senzubi.
True that.
So it was a very peculiar card. Definitely, it's going to be a card that's not going to see a lot of play in the new AOD.
Yes, I definitely think this is a relic of its time.
Yes, I think you might be citing 1 or 2 of those because it's an AOD removal. So against certain matchups when you need to remove something that doesn't have barrier, you might be looking for this.
I mean, yeah, you can play it for free and remove a 25k on board.
Yes.
It's sad it doesn't ignore barrier, but yeah. Putting that on the board is not terrible. And plus, you might... Oh, I was going to say, you might be running blue, but then I was like, no, your leader card has to be red. So
exactly, that's the problem. If you didn't need to have a red leader.
Yeah, if they want to change it to if your leader card is red or Agents of Destruction. But then again...
Yeah. I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think that's going to happen at all, no. Yeah, so again... I think it's a side choice, right? It's there if it needs removal, but...
I think I would run 2 in the side because there are cards that let you search from the top, including the leader. You search on the top for AOD.
And putting a free 20k on board isn't a bad thing anyway.
Yeah.
It is what it is. So, not amazing with the new stuff, but it's not unplayable. It's
not the main thing. Shall we go on?
Next up is everyone's favourite Tails, which still does not have his own support. He's been thrown around left, right, and centre.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but Tails also doesn't have an actual card. Because this is AOD, the other one is Ghost Warrior.
Nope, he does not have a actual Tails Tree of Might.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Tails continuously being evaded here. Like, Bandai know what they're doing. Bandai know they're like, look, we'll give you the evil Goku, but we're not
They-
giving you the evil Goku. So Tails, Chaotic Agent of Destruction, a great name. Barrier and unique on this one. 2-drop.
For a good
So
reason.
yes, you can play it for free. When this card attacks, look up to the top 5 cards of your deck, add up to 1 Agent of Destruction in its card name among them to your hand, and then shuffle your deck. So this is a 15k that when it attacks, you're adding cards to hand.
Everybody's Polyarm shop for AODs.
Perfect example, actually. Yeah.
The reason why it has unique is because everybody's Polyarm shot showed how powerful the card was. And this card is not strong because you can play it for free, but because you can reliably play it on turn 2 with any 2 energy.
That is also true. Like, you're always going to be generating some form of advantage of it. So if you had, like, say if you had 4 on the field, that would be insane. So yeah.
The card is very easy to play. It can go as low as 1 drop 15k that attacks and brings your card to hand.
Yep. It doesn't really matter if the attack hits, right? It's like that's just an extra benefit.
Yeah, it can take away the attacks from your face. It can do a lot. And
especially with Unison being a thing, it helps to be able to just swing into a Unison and then gain an advantage of swinging into a Unison. And also forcing your opponent to negate or block if they don't want that Unison to lose a marker.
Yeah.
So moving on, speaking of Unisons, our first Unison Agent of Destruction, Geneva, Wicked Agent of Destruction. Well, I'm going to let you just take this one. I'm just going to let you take this one.
It's really interesting that they did the whole thing, Agent of Destruction being Unison cards. So this Geneva is support for 2 decks, actually 3 decks, AOD, Mill Geneva, and Crit Geneva. Because it works with all 3 of those decks, which is amazing. Specified cost 2, it's Wicked Agent of Destruction. For +0, activate main. You and your opponent draw 1 card, then your opponent places the top card of their deck in the drop area. So it's essentially, you remove 2 cards from your opponent's deck and you draw a card, because you really don't care how many cards your opponent has in hand. As long as they're not hand destruction, of course. On +1, activate main again, the card gets critical, which is ridiculous pressure. And -2, which is activate main or battle, which is an interesting skill. If your opponent has 15 or less cards in the deck, this card gets 15,000 power and triple strike for the turn. So it's not only for that one battle.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine giving this triple attack with your Pilaf leader. Oh, Pilaf needs to choose a red Unison, doesn't it?
Yes. I was going to say Goku, but I think that the Goku reboot, but I think that's also specifies Goku Black, right?
I don't think it does. I think it's blue Unison.
Because if it...
I think it untaps at the end of a turn.
Ah, okay. Well,
yeah.
Either way...
But it's still, a card, it's a very low cost for the -2 to get plus 15,000 and triple strike. Even if your opponent needs to be at 15 cards or less in the deck, if you're not playing mill, then your opponent's going to feel safe drawing cards.
Yeah, true.
And then when they're going to be like 17 cards in the deck, you're just going to +0. And the next turn you're going to -2 because it's really hard to remove. Unison cards are really hard to remove unless you concentrate all of your attacks on them.
Mm.
And the problem is that this deck will have a way to recur.
Yeah.
So there is going to be a recursion on Unison cards,
which is interesting.
Yeah,
I think it's a really strong card. It's a very good reason why you're not allowed to free play card name Agent of Destructions, because yikes, being able to free play.
I mean, Idenda would enter with no.
Would he not? Yes, true.
With no markers. That's why you had the other skill, and that required you to pay the energy. But I would prefer if that skill said pay X, and the Unison card comes with X markers.
Yeah.
So essentially, a non-specified cost for Unison.
Yeah, it's such a good card. Especially if your opponent tries to come in on you, and it's like, Oh, you don't get wait, no, you don't get a defensive step. So would you be able to activate this in your defensive step if you attacked?
If your unit is attacked, no.
Yeah, you won't, will you? Because it just skips that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you wouldn't be able to use it defensively. Um, I mean, you could brace
I
it
do
if they're
expect,
attacking leader first, right?
I do expect at some point to see a negate that doesn't negate the attack, but gives you defense step on your unison card.
Well, that could be interesting. And let's while we're on Geneva, let's move back to the
Yes.
original Geneva, one of the more popular of the original 5.
Yeah.
So this is a 4-drop Geneva Agent of Destruction, critical, or activate this skill when you play this card from your hand or warp at the end of that turn. If it's your turn, choose up to one of your energy and switch it to active mode, and then its activate main being send this card to the owner's warp, draw 1 card, and then your opponent places 3 cards from the top of your deck in their drop area.
Yep.
Still a solid Agent of Destruction.
Critical attack at 20k is always going to be strong, and that additional mill and untap helped it being defensive. And Arcane Absorption lets you play AODs from your warp as well, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm a defer to someone else on that.
Yes, from your drop area or warp.
Okay.
You play up to 5 AODs from your drop area or warp. So this being the Geneva being able to be warped to draw 1 card, mill 3, and then you can replace with Arcane Absorption. You get the auto, you get the attacks, you get the mill.
It's so good. Strong card. Very strong card. I still think this card. I mean, it's seen play anytime Geneva's about, so it's not done. It's not done. This card.
I think it's done in Geneva at the moment, but I think this is going to see a lot of play in AOD.
Cool.
Which I think might be a mistake. It might be this card might be a trap in AOD.
Well, we'll only time will tell.
Yes.
But I love this card from a pure design point of view. I think it's phenomenal. So moving on to Green Agents of Destruction, starting with our newly squeezed Android 13. Exterminating Agent of Destruction. God, that was a poor.
Exterminate.
That was a poor attempt at a Dalek impression there by me. Peter's tinny audio kind of makes it worth it though. So 2-drop counter play. If your leader card is Agent of Destruction, in its card name doesn't have to be specified, which that's kind of interesting. A bit of future proofing there. If the battle card being played has an energy cost of 3 or less, it is placed.
No, the reason for this is if you read on both Babidi and Majin Buu, they're actually not agents of distraction.
Oh, are they not?
No, they're leader of the agents of distraction. None of them is agents of distraction.
Oh. Okay. Ah, okay. So you can't.
The more you know.
Yeah. Okay. So this doesn't work with the leader then?
It does work with the leader, but that's why the wording is like this.
Oh, okay. So
if your leader card has Agents of Distraction in its card name, because by law, neither Babidi nor Majin Buu were Agents of Distraction or Destroyer Kings.
I suppose, yeah, that makes sense. So
they don't have that tag.
So cost 3 or less, it is placed in its owner's drop area instead of being played. And then you play this card, and then your opponent drops 1 from their hand, which is it's pretty brutal considering it's only a 2-drop to do it. So 2-drop, I'm denying a 3-drop or less. I'm getting a body on board, and I'm also going to make you mill. And then when this card is played, shuffle up to a total of 2 evil wizard cards and or cards of Agent of Destruction in their name from your drop area into your deck. This card is fantastic.
So this can be a 1-drop.
Yep. No.
Why not? Give me one reason why it can't be a 1-drop.
Because you have to pay.
If you're going to specified cost, I'm going to laugh at you.
Wait, what?
What does the leader do?
Oh, it treats it as no specified cost. Oh damn! Oh damn! This card's even
So
better.
you can actually make it a 1-drop.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. I'm going to keep on telling you that in your video when you said that Hatch is bad, oh, you were so wrong. Like, Hatch is one of the most busted cards in here.
I didn't say it was bad. I just didn't get it.
Yeah, you thought that he's for Majin Buu. He can play Babidi in Majin Buu.
Yeah, I know, right? Leave me be. It was like I literally rolled out of bed to make that video. Thank you. That's dedication to the cause. But yeah, this card's great. I love it, especially now that it can actually be a 1-drop.
Yeah.
That's madness. That is actually madness.
And it's not limited that you can only do it once per turn or anything. And he can shuffle himself back from the drop area into your deck, so you have a recursion.
Agent of Destruction. Yeah, it doesn't say anything about not. Oh
Yeah.
my god. Oh my god.
You actually have a recursion.
Damn, that's so good. Android 13, bruh. Speaking of Android 13, let's go to the original Android 13. Still have a fondness for this card, like proper love. I don't know. I think this is the feature rares in general. I have a massive love for.
This by far, Android 13 Agent of Distraction, the original one, is by far the best card ever made for me.
Okay.
Because, in my opinion, every single time I've seen this card, and when the card came out, it was just after my favorite deck got a bit hit, which was the hand control. The Shenron hand control, exactly. And this is a hand control if it ever was a card. It's a crit attacker, which is what hand control wants to do. They don't attack with something that's not crit or winning the game.
Yeah, you don't want to give them the cards you're making them drop.
Yeah, it kills the battle cards, which is what hand control does. Okay. And it forces opponent to ditch cards from hand, which is what hand control does.
Yeah. It's not once per turn either, is it?
Exactly, it's not once per turn, it's just pay 2 energy to do that. And you don't need to KO the battle cards to ditch a card from their hand.
Oh yeah, it's a Ven effect, isn't it? So yeah.
And choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, KO it, then your opponent chooses one card from their hand and places it in the drop area.
Mate. Yeah, so
I pay 2 energy to at least ditch a card from their hand.
So
I love this card.
Based on this, I feel like AOD is going to take a very hand control-y, critical stance. I know we were discussing beforehand. It's probably going to lean into a bluish green build. Because remember, these don't.
Same as Turtles. You can reliably drop it on turn 2.
Yeah, because it's a free player with the effect of overseeing.
2-drop. You can play it as a 2-drop on turn 2.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be playing 6 or 7 1-drop Babidis. So you can drop it on turn 1. Babidi has barrier. It's most likely not going to be good on turn 1. Turn 2, you either drop Turtles or you drop this.
Exactly right. So either you're generating advantage or you're ripping your opponent of the other hand. Either choice is good.
Or late game when you have lots of energy, you just free play him.
And then you're like, look, you've got.
Pay all of my energy, make you ditch hand.
You want a hand? Scott, you wanted your hand back? No. I'll take your other one. But yeah, so
I can go all over.
I'm really happy Android 13 is getting some love. Like, I feel like he has the coolest, one of the coolest mechanics in the game with his actual archetype, but it never seems to go anywhere. So at least now in Agents of Destruction, he can do his own little thing, and I think that's fantastic. So we'll move on to Slug, and now this is an interesting one. It's another unique, but this is a super combo for Agents of Destruction, and we'll talk about the ratios of what you should play in just a second. But Lord Slug, Mighty Agent of Destruction, 0-10k. When your opponent so this is obviously when it's on board. When your opponent activates a counterplay skill, they choose 2 cards in their hand and discards them. Again, another 15k. So yeah, Peter, what's your thoughts on this one?
So there's multiple things here.
Yes.
To take apart. A, this auto is not once per turn.
Nope.
B, this auto resolves when they activate the counterplay before the counterplay resolves.
Yes, because it'll be your turn, right?
Yes.
So, yeah.
But even if it's during the turn, the autos resolve before the activate skills, and counterplay is type of an activate skill.
Oh, okay, right. That's interesting to know. Okay.
And so they're going to ditch their cards in their hand before the card even hits, right? It's only on counterplays, which is good. It's not on all the
Oh my god,
counter skills.
imagine if it was counter attacks. Oh.
Yeah. So, very easy to understand why it has a unique. Because if you had 2 of those on board, your opponent would have no hand if they play control.
Yeah.
That would be no fun.
Do you want to counterplay me? Do I want to lose my entire hand? Wow, interactive.
The question about the super combo is for the deck building.
Yes.
You do not want to play 4 of those.
Nope.
So if this was not a super combo, you would stuff your deck with 4 of those. But because it is super combo, you are losing on that draw from super combo, the defensive draw. That's why you don't want to play 4 of those. And that's a very clever use of the super combo restriction by the design team.
Yeah,
This is one of the things I would like to see from the design.
When you pointed this out to me, I was like, actually, that's actually really smart. Like,
yes, because otherwise you would just 4 super combos, 4 of that, and you call it a day, right?
Right. Yeah.
And this is a very interesting design. I like to see this type of design because it's not just slapstick something really strong on the card you can play 4 of, and there's no restriction on it.
It forces to think about what you're putting in your deck, and I think that's really good.
And it makes it's a very strong effect, let's be honest.
Oh, yeah.
But it forces you to sacrifice something that's considered the strongest effect in the whole game. Super combos are generally considered the strongest skills in the game.
Right, every deck has 4 of them.
Yes. The first thing you do when you build a super combo, build a deck, you look at your leader and you choose the super combo for that leader.
Right, yeah. I know I do anyway. Like,
unless you play Meta Cooler, because then you just put 40 Meta Coolers and you forget to play super combos. Right, Scott?
No comment. I plead the fifth.
But yeah,
right, forgetting to put super combos in your deck is not the same as not thinking about it. I don't know where I'm going with that. I can't say about it.
No, I like to see this because this makes for very interesting choices. Yeah.
And it also can get grabbed by the agents, Android 13, right? To put back in your deck.
Sorry.
Android 13
can put it back into your deck. Yes.
Yeah. Shuffle. Total of 2.
2.
Yeah. Yeah. So you could. Yeah. I think you play 2 of this, right?
I think the split is going to be 2 and 2. 2 of this and 2 of Trunks.
Yeah.
Because the leader is black.
Yep. So you want the draw, and then you can also play it and then refill. Yeah.
I think it's going to be Trunks over Roshi, because you don't really want to depend on going down to 4 life.
No, you want because you can fill the spark easily.
Yeah, you can get there very easily with your leader.
Yeah.
I'm not sure you want to though. I don't know. The meta would show. I think if initially when I'm going to be building this deck, I think I will be running 2 Trunks in this, but I might be putting. It also makes another interesting point. This is not a sided card because it's a super combo.
Yeah.
So you can't easily side into this. You need to be maining this and showing it, or not playing it at all. It's a really interesting concept. I like it.
Yeah,
it's very restrictive. It might be what kills the card. I would not be surprised if the decks up top do not play Slug at all.
Like, it's powerful, but it comes at a cost.
And also, you need to be playing it in the right meta, right? If the meta doesn't.
Oh yeah, if people are counterplaying it, you might as well go for your draw. I mean, even then, on the off chance, I would probably, if that did happen, I would shift to a 3-1 thing. But that's just me personally. And we might as well cover the old Slug as well. I'll let you can run through old Slug.
So the old Slug is very simple. Agent of Distraction, 3-drop 20k. When you play him, your opponent ditches a card from hand. Discards a card from hand exactly. And activate main. Once per turn, you can pay 1 green and choose up to 1 Slug's army card from your hand with original cost of 3 or less, other than low Slug Agent of Distraction, and play it. So you can use this to play your super combo from hand for 1. You can use this to ditch a card from your opponent's hand. He can't play himself, but can play another character's low Slug that have a AOD tag. I think because we haven't seen Bojack in this set for AOD, so I think we might actually see another set of support for AOD.
Yeah, I think that's a really fair shout.
maybe in the Magnificent Collection or whatever they're going to be calling it this year.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Like they made a statement, right? If it was 1 or 2 cards for AOD, then you could be like, okay, it's just whatever. They give it 10 new cards a leader, and they very much want it to be its own archetype. This deck will get supported in future. So
yeah, I think so, because even Towa keeps on getting 1 or 2 cards every single set.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I think we might be seeing more AOD. I think this is a card to pay attention to. It's not going to be playable immediately when this comes out.
Yeah, I think that's a really good shout there. I don't think this is one you want to go and put 4 in your deck of, but it's also...
I think you might want to be playing 2 of those, though. The reason being is you play it, your opponent ditches a card from hand.
Exactly, right. And the main thing you want is your opponent not having a hand, and then you punching them critically. Yep. I think solid choice. You wouldn't be a fool to play it, but you also wouldn't need to play it.
Yes.
And they're also still quite cheap, so pick them up now, just in case. Broly! Broly.
Definitely a 4-off in any AOD deck.
Yeah. Invincible Agent. As I first thought when I read this morning. Invisible Agent of Destruction. Activate main, pay 1, discard this card from your hand. Add 1 card of Agent of Destruction and its card name from your drop to your hand. When this card is played, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards when its energy cost of 5 or less, KO it. And then look up the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 card among them to your hand, then place the remaining cards in your drop area. Oh boy!
So, recurring effect. This is going to be a 4-off for the first effect.
Yep.
Add 1, you can just recur a card from your drop area.
So, add super combo back to your hand if you want it.
Well, the only super combo you can is Lord Slug. I think mostly you're going to be recurring Android 13.
Android 13 or Tails, probably, right?
To shuffle cards back or turns to find more cards, yeah.
Yeah. It's going to grab anything.
It can recur the Unisons as well.
Oh, yes, because it's card name, right?
Yes.
Yes.
This is a card name.
So it's great if you lose a Unison, but you've got another one, you replay another one, you can drop this, and then just gain an extra marker by doing that. It's
or you can do a lot of stuff.
I think this opens a lot of lines of play.
It's not once per turn, it just costs 1 energy to bring something back to your hand. Amazing. I think the card is brilliant. If you play it with Arcane Absorption, you get a neat skill. I don't think I would ever hardcast this card. On the other hand, it's a 2-drop. If you consider this in your deck, you get 2
so it can be free played.
You kill anything with cost 5 or less, which I think is a bit stronger than Vegeta. Vegeta kills
25 or less. Yeah.
I think killing 5-drop or less is stronger. But then, I will just remind people that there is a ruling about skills like this. That's from back in set 3.
It doesn't hit tokens.
Not that. I'm talking about the second part of the skill. That's back from set 3. When you look at up to top 3 cards from the top of your deck, add 1 card to your hand, and then place the remaining cards in your drop area. When do you decide how many cards you look at?
Wait, what?
When you look at the up to 3 cards from the top of your deck, when do you decide how many cards you look at?
When you play it?
No.
What? Really?
In Dragon Ball, you decide when to stop looking at any point when you start resolving it. So you pick up cards by card.
Look up to. Sorry, I didn't understand what you were asking. Right.
Yeah. Sorry.
No. Yeah. So look up to. So if you look at the top one and you're like, oh yeah, that's good, then that's it.
And then you keep it. If you don't like it, you look at the next one.
Yeah.
And a very, very important thing about this card.
Yeah. No.
It doesn't show the card to your opponent.
Nope.
It doesn't check for anything. You can add any card. This can be used as a tutor.
Yeah.
In any green deck.
It's solid. It's really solid. Yeah. So it's OG Broly, so it's bound to get Broly support. So if there's ever a player free drop Broly,
I think this card in Commander might push green decks quite far.
Oh yeah, very much so. Because you're killing something. You're also being able
to pick up cards.
Yeah. No.
And you can play multiple AODs in green because green has the biggest amount of AODs.
Yep.
6 cards are AoD in green.
Yeah.
So anything with green can actually be really strong in Commander now.
Yeah. So yeah,
Which makes me
brilliant.
really excited.
Brilliant. Really good card. We also have to mention, right? This is the anniversary box, so all these cards are they're going to be so easy to obtain.
The only card that's going to be difficult to obtain is the leader.
Yeah.
Which last year Toa was £20 each. It's not a lot.
It's a lot for a leader, but in terms of what you get,
The rest of the deck is cheap.
Yeah, right. Like you'll be able to pick up the. I mean, I'm basically just giving you a playset of the entire anniversary box anyway. So it's like yeah, it's. I don't really understand people's problems when they come across, but that's a bigger.
The non-foil set sells for like a tenner.
Yeah, they're not expensive, and
the foils are the expensive ones.
Yeah, but that's always that's on you to choose to make that.
But the foils are on top of that, right?
Yeah.
You don't need foils. You can very easily get your commons.
Exactly. So let's move on to the final green card we have for Agents of Destruction, and that is Vegeta, Resolute Agent of Destruction, making his jump from red to green. Oh boy. Oh, this card, it makes me palpitate. Like, look at that SS3. Yeah, you can go, but man, that artwork.
So a unison card, specified cost of 4 green, but more often than not, you're going to be playing it with your leader skill, because your energy is going to be all over the place.
Yep.
Double Strike Critical. Printed Double Strike Critical on 20k unison card. This card is going to be a target to be removed the moment it hits the board. And on top of that, when you play it, you can discard a card from your hand and choose all of your other cards, ignoring barrier, and just poof.
Pay free to wipe your opponent's board. Love it.
I mean, against Sin Shenron, this is going to be scary because you can keep on dropping it with your leader skill.
Yeah.
So you drop it once, then next turn you drop it again, and again, and again. This card is going to be ridiculously strong in the freezer.
Yes.
Because you play it for 4, you ditch Dodoria enters, you draw a card from a healing pod, and then you wipe your opponent's board.
And then if you've got a surprise attack in there, you get an extra critical on board.
Yep.
It's really good, and that's just its on-play effect.
Oh, yeah. Then you can sacrifice Dodoria, give... I know, you don't need to give this critical. It already has critical, it's not critical. His skills are +1, he gets 5k, so it's 25k double strike critical.
This is good. It's good.
-5. If your leader card is an evil wizard card, which Boo is also an evil wizard because that's a Boo that absorbed Babidi. So this leader is evil wizard on both sides. Or all of your energy is mono green, so you can use it in a freezer. Choose 3 cards in your opponent's hand and discard them.
It's so good.
So about that hand distraction.
You want to lose your hand?
Are you seeing a hand control?
Yeah, it's insane. It's scary. Like it actually poses a threat, and I think people are just like slowly starting to wake up to it. I mean, the cards have been revealed for less than 12 hours at this point.
Yes.
Like
it has been what 7 hours.
Yep. And it's just what's it called? Like these are our initial impressions of it. Yes, we're doing an analysis of it, but I think it's fair to say we've got a good understanding of where this deck's going to go. And people
Arcane absorption already increased to £180.
Yeah, it's
again.
People need to be aware that this deck is going to be a thing. It's going to happen. So Vegeta Unison again. Don't have to get it from. It's not an SR in a random booster pack. You're going to get 2 of it with your anniversary box. You get 2 anniversary box. You're good. You're good. And next move on to Yellow. And our first extra card that is an agent. I love Bandai. I love it when you do this and you give extra cards tags. Like, is it Hope of Universe 7 that has the Universe 7 tag? Because Warriors is the one that gives them Barrier, right? Or is it the other way around?
The yellow 1-drop is the one that has the tag.
I love.
Also have a tag, obviously, because they're desires.
Yeah. So it's just a Destruction Strike back. The best freaking out. Like this card's gonna look insane in foil. I can't wait to see it. Activate main. look up to 2 cards from the top of your deck, add up to 2 cards with Agent of Destruction in their name, add them to your hand, place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. You can't activate copies of this card for a turn. If you added a card to your hand, add up to 1 card. Add up to 1 card, so that's important to note, from your life to hand. This card's good.
So yes, the fact that you look at the 2 cards and you can keep both if they're both AODs, it can pick up unison cards. This supports you to stuff your deck full of AODs. It's a good thing you can't activate another copy of this card in a turn, because you can use it turn 1 for 0.
Oh, wait. Can you? Oh
It's an
my god, Agent of Destruction. Oh
yes,
my
if you
god.
read Overseer, he actually reduces cards.
Damn, Overseer! You got no chill! Oh! Okay. Yeah, this card's
So,
awesome.
Yeah, that's why the card has, you can't activate copies of this card for this turn.
I'm just going to cycle through my deck.
Yeah.
Again, fantastic.
This would be the successor, right?
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, and finally our well, not finally, but our debuting. No, shit, no. There's another debuting one. Never mind. This one I don't want to talk about, so Peter's going to talk about it.
We have Garlic Jr., Immortal Agent of Distraction, a 2-drop. Counter attack, negate the attack and play this card. So it's essentially a 1-drop 15k, negate the attack, play this card. And when this card is played, you play up to 1 Agent of Distraction card with cost of 2 other than himself from your deck, with the skill negated for the turn, then shuffle your deck.
Can we move on?
You can play Super Combo. You can play Turtles. And you don't really want to play Android 13. So yeah, it's going to be Turtles or Super Combo. It's still amazing. I think the card is good. It's a counter attack that they have counterplay. Yeah, I think the card is going to see a lot of play. It's a shame that it's yellow, but I think the yellow would help with the Bojack, the multicolor one. And I think that's why it's yellow. So we have yellow, blue, and green, and it's
so
a
you could tap
deck.
for the arrival, yeah.
I think it's going to be a first proper tricolor deck, because I don't think red is going to be paying.
No, I don't think you need the red.
Deck.
You actually don't need the red. Like, literally, red is non-existent for this deck.
Yeah, there's one card in red that doesn't really
need red. It needs blue.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't, because it can't do the leader effect. Never mind.
Yeah, it needs a red leader and a blue energy.
I mean, my personal bias against Garlic Jr. aside, it's a good card. Having access to a counterplay and a counter attack that you can search and that's in your archetype is fantastic.
And they're both 1-drops.
And they're both 1-drops. So let's just move on to Bojack as if nothing happened. There was no time differential or anything, so if everyone sounds different, it's your imagination. No, we're not. Are we moving on to Bojack? Yes, we're moving on to Bojack.
Yes. Let's finish with your favorite character ever.
I mean, I do like Bojack. I like him a lot. And I do also really like this card. I rate it, like, outside of the Agent of Destruction archetype, I really like Bojack as a card, because it's a free drop that you can play for 1 technically in Bojack. When you play this card, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, switch it to rest, which is now just switching stuff to rest gets more and more support.
And it ignores barriers, so you can very easily do that, right?
Yeah. And then activate main, pay 2. If this card is in rest mode, choose up to 1 of your opponents. Choose your opponent's leader card, switch it to rest mode, and then it can't be switched to active mode until the end of next turn. It's good. I like it. I don't know how playable it is in this new Agents of Destruction deck, but I still like this card a lot.
I think it would be played mainly for the reason it's yellow.
Oh, to fill that arrival.
Yeah. Because I don't think you would be running the Geneva multicolor, but Bojack multicolor, definitely you would want to. All the arrival cards are ridiculously strong.
That is true. Yeah.
Yeah, because able to keep the cards in the rest mode, or leaders in the rest mode, stopping them from attacking. That can be powerful, but that's a huge investment in energy.
Oh
That's
yeah,
really
like
big.
for the
It needs
same
to be in
amount.
rest mode.
For the same amount, you can do the Android 13 rip apart your hand.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
And still attack with a critical.
oh yeah, of course. But yeah, you need yellow for arrival, so this is also a. I don't know. I don't know where this card lands just yet. I think testing will
Mhm.
tell.
Yeah. There's not that many yellow AODs, so I think you might be playing 4 of Garlic and 4 of Bojack.
Just to
Just
fill
to.
that quota.
Yeah.
I could see that. Now, moving on to our final newcomer of the Agents of Destruction, we have Vengeful Hatchiac. Yeah, Peter, I messed up this morning, so if you want to ream me now, here's your chance.
Hatchiac, Vengeful Agent of Destruction. It's a 3-drop, 20k. Activate main. Pay 1 energy, discard this card from your hand. Play up to 1 Evil Wizard Babidi card with an energy cost of 1 from your deck or drop area, then shuffle your deck if you looked through it. Also, when this card is played, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost 4 or less, send it to the to your owner's warp, then place up to 3 battle cards from your opponent's drop area to the bottom of their deck in any order. You never really want to play this card, you have better removal. But yeah, this is your 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th copy of Babidi Overseer of Distraction.
Yeah.
Overseer, which we're going to show as a part of the package. But yeah, this card, as you mentioned, it can be used in Majin Buu to search for the 1-drop Babidi and play it from deck. Because the fact that you can play it from deck or drop area is amazing. That's the one thing that I love about this. It's also a 3-drop, so you can shuffle it back with Hatchiac, with the Ghost Warriors. Put it back at the bottom of the deck.
Yeah.
Its effect was clearly created to deal with U3.
Yeah.
Take the cards back at the bottom of the deck.
Yeah, I could see that, yeah.
I think you might actually side into this for the mirror match or against Hatch. To put back their resources at the bottom of their deck so they can't put them back themselves while playing battle cards. And hopefully can slowly whittle down their hand using like Android 13 or something.
I see. I'm still. I don't know. I think this is one of the cards that I need to see and play with to get how good it is. Like, because I can understand what you tell me, and I understand how yes, it's great to get the Overseer because Overseer is nuts in Agents of Destruction. Shockingly, but I just in my head it just doesn't compute. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I think it is one of those.
Okay, let me tell you what this card exactly does. This card changes your Overseer to cost colorless, because Overseer is not Agent of Distraction, so he costs blue specific.
Yeah.
So if you want to play it from hand, you need to charge blue first. Which in tricolor deck is going to be an issue. With this skill, you can charge any card you want, as long as it's coming in active mode. Then you immediately discard this from hand, play that Babidi from your deck, and later in the game, you can recycle this back into your deck with Android 13.
Oh, okay.
And then use
yeah, because you can get it from the drop, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Broly can bring it to your hand, 13 can put it back into your deck, and then you can use it again to bring back Babidi that they killed.
So you're always going to have your Overseer. Okay.
Yeah. So this card ensures that you have Overseer. And Overseer is what makes Android 13 cost 1, Garlic cost 1, extra card cost 0. This is your turn 1 play.
Okay. Fair enough. Again, I still think it'll be once I can sequence with it in person, and I think I'll get
after this.
Yeah. So yeah, let's talk about Overseer, the elephant in the room, the non-agent of destruction, but he's an Overseer of it. So he's a 1-drop barrier. You can only have one on the field at a time, so he's got unique. It's so much easier just to say he's got unique now. Oh, it's like it's the most important keyword in this game. Permanent, reduce the energy cost of all Agents of Destruction cards in your hand by 1, and obviously now that they have no specified cost, That's why you can get away with.
He also himself removes the specified cost, but you also have that on the leader, so you don't need him for that.
It doesn't remove specified costs.
Yes, it does. Read the first permanent.
Fuck. Okay. No. Yep. Shit. Okay.
I was playing the deck. I know exactly what this card does.
All right. Look, reading a card explains the card.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's nuts. It's killable quite easily. I mean, not quite easily anymore. But yeah, if you're going to waste resources getting rid of this is more benefit for Bojack. Bojack. Agents of Destruction, sorry.
Yeah. So its barrier is really difficult to remove, especially early game. If you want to remove it, then you have Hatch that can just bring it back for 1 energy from the drop area. Or can play it from the deck if you haven't seen it in opening hand. And this card is a cornerstone of the whole strategy because it makes all your cards cheaper.
Yeah, so you either open this or you open Hatch, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I mean, it's preferred to open Hatch, right? Because then you could charge green turn 1 and...
Yeah, I mean, if you want to go for more green strategy, yes. Depending on... The important thing is you don't need to start with blue.
Yes, yeah, because if you draw this, you would need to start blue, yeah.
And if you want... The Hatch has more interaction than Babidi. You can bring back Hatch to hand with Broly. You can't bring Babidi back to hand with Broly.
Okay.
You can shuffle back Babidi into your deck, but then when you look at the top 5 cards of your deck, you always look for AOD. You don't look for Babidi.
Yeah.
And he's not AOD, so you can't add him.
Yeah, so Hatch is the boy.
Yeah, I think the split for me would be 4 Hatch and 2 Babidi.
Because you can constantly get that Hatch back, and then Hatch, no matter what. No, Hatch don't grab it from Warp, does he?
No, drop or deck.
Yeah.
It's still drop or deck.
Yeah.
As long as you don't life it.
Oh, it's in hand. I combo it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, in the worst case, you just play it from hand.
If you can, yeah.
Yeah.
In that scenario, I was assuming you didn't have a blue energy. But
if you don't have blue, you just combo it and use Hatch.
So yeah, pick up these now, because I could see these guys going up in price.
Yeah, I think this is going to be one of those you want to do that turn 1, because then turn 2 you leave 2 energy open, and you either have 2 Android 13s open on turn 2. That's an amazing having 2 Android 13s open.
Yeah. This deck just coming from something that shouldn't work, and in a span of 1 release, it forms its own deck. I love it. I absolutely love it. This gives me hope for future archetypes, for sure.
I do like a rainbow archetypes. Yeah. They're always fun.
If they expand on the Divine Multiverse thing between the Goku and the Vegeta, I think I'd really like to see that. Let's move into the multicolored cards. So we have Geneva, Forgotten Agent of Destruction. He's totally not resonant. So he's got Barrier. Cool. He's got Aegis.
Yay.
The less said about that, the better. He's got Energy Exhaust. When his card activates Aegis, and I guess for people who don't know what Aegis is, in your defensive step, if you drop the colour requirements for it, so in this case, a blue and yellow card, or a blue and a yellow card, you can untap 2 your energy, but it also gets the effect of, when you activate Aegis, if there's no evil incarnate cards in play in your battle area, other than this card, place 1 card from the top of your opponent's deck in the drop area. It's not great, guys. This is possibly the worst Agent of Destruction. Actually, no.
I was really excited when Aegis was announced, but then you think about it, you need to drop one specific card or 2 specific cards from your hand to untap 2 energy and nothing else.
Yeah, like Bojack possibly might be bringing Aegis into being a thing, but that's only a slight possibility.
I mean, the Distraction Angel Rare did not bring Aegis into being.
Exactly, so
that has not done this.
And that was designed to bring Aegis to be a useful thing.
Yeah, Aegis is not a thing. Aegis.
Exactly, so unfortunately, Geneva, you're probably not going to see play.
And there's no way of actually cheating this on board. You need to pay 3 energy. It doesn't discount any energy. It has barrier. Whoopie-doo.
Yeah, like it's not doing much. You don't have it's literally the worst Agent of Destruction. I can't like.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, because the artwork's cool. Like, don't get me wrong, this card looks amazing in foil, but other than that, that's it. Like, you don't want to be playing this. Unfortunately, this is off of the tier list in terms of bad. Like, if there's a scale below bad, it's lower than that.
Yeah. It's when they were like Alliance and Aegis when they were introduced. They were not great.
No.
They were interesting gimmick, but they were not great. Alliance is getting more and more love at the moment with the
Alliance is
new
slowly creeping up there.
Chile and Limo support for the watermelon deck.
And obviously you've got the Angel, which is just that's fantastic. That Angel, like that's
SS3 Gohan.
Yeah. Oh gosh, yes. Oh, can't wait to get our hands on that.
There is some love for Alliance. Ace, they're trying to push, but even with that Bojack, I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't think it entirely makes Aegis work. I think Aegis either needs a rework or like the cards just need better effects. Like they need effects on top of Aegis. Like Aegis isn't enough to make the card justifiable. Yeah. Like I think you can see them trying here with when you activate Aegis, but it only mills one. It's not good. Like that's another topic for another time. We'll move on to the actual
blue when we're talking about Aegis. Just one last thing. Bojack would be amazing with blue if you still had objection, because then you could drop 8-drop on turn 3.
That's disgusting. But
I was actually doing that.
Yeah, so moving on to the arguably one of the better Agent of Destructions, but not for the Agent of the Destruction itself. It's just a very good card. Let's talk about Bojack, resonant Agent of Destruction.
All resonant Agent of Distractions.
But one is much better than the other. So this is a blocker, which is a good keyword. Arrival, blue-yellow, pay 1 yellow specified. Oh, so good.
I'm sorry, but Arrival is the most busted keyword in this game.
Oh, I 100%. I yearn for the days when Arrival can disappear. It won't, but yeah, energy exhaust. And when you play this card, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, switch it to rest mode, then place the top card of your opponent's. So it does what Geneva does, but way better.
Yeah, I mean, so when you comboing in Arrival, you're stopping one attack because you comboed out. You're stopping second attack because you rested something. And you stop third attack because this is a blocker.
It's this card, it's so good.
And on top of that, he's AOD, so you can search him.
Yep.
The only reason why you would keep yellow cards in there, like.
Yeah, literally, you want to be playing this in AOD just cause it's good.
Yeah, it's good.
It is just good. Yeah, I can't say much more about this card. I would say go and pick these up, but he's also getting reprinted in the set that you'll be picking up. Granted, it's not guaranteed, but it's going to reduce the price of him. Ish. He's already not that expensive. If you watch the Bojack video, I go over his price, and I think he's maxing at like 3-4 euros. So
I think he might be going up a bit.
It won't be more than €10 a card, though.
Yeah, I don't think he's that good in the Bojack deck, but in AOD I think he's way better, and also Milnemba is seeing some love, so he might be going up.
But I can't see it being more than 10 a card.
Oh, definitely. I think 10 is going to be peak on foil.
Yeah, that's fair. Because it does come in foil and non-foil. Thankfully, I think I have all of them in foil. And now I'm questioning if I have it all in foil. So after this video, Scott's going to check his binder and check if he has them all in foil. Moving on to the secret rare of the Agents of Destruction. Broly, Ultimate Agent of Destruction. Double Strike. Oh, I guess we start with 8-drop, 4 specified cost. Double Strike, Dual Attack, Ultimate. Auto, when one of your green battle cards with an energy cost of 7 or more is removed from your battle area by a skill or KO'd, activate a skill. You may choose all other cards. Choose all cards other than this card from your hand. Place them in the drop area. If you do, place this card from your hand. When this card attacks, if your life is at 1, your opponent chooses all cards in their hand and places them in the drop area.
So when this card came out, everyone was like, why the hell they made an AOD a secret for a totally different deck? And
Right?
that's one thing I don't like about how Bandai did secrets back then. They would very often make secrets that didn't make sense for archetypes that they were supporting. Like Android 21, do you remember what was the secret for that?
SS4 Vegeta.
Yes. Do you know what character he was?
What?
He was Vegeta GT.
Oh, right, yeah.
That has nothing
To do with Android. Yeah, I can see where you're coming from, yeah.
For Beerus, what was the secret?
Beerus.
Yeah.
Beerus had a secret rare?
Well, sorry, it was Baby and Beerus.
What? You confuse me so much there.
Baby and Beerus, the red one.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Red yellow.
Yeah, baby Geneva.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kinda can understand it with Baby, but that was the OG Baby, not the Xenoverse one. So why did they brought in Baby Geneva?
I mean, it was teasing a future set, but yeah, I get what you were. I get what you're getting at, but yeah, for this deck, this isn't the secret we're running at all. Shall we move on?
Sadly not, but it's it's one of those things that they made and no one understood why.
I mean, it's a good secret rare in its own regard, but yeah, for this deck, it's not good, and we won't be running it. What we will be running is Arcane Absorption Majin Buu, and Peter, I'll let you take this one.
So it's an H drop that is not AOD anywhere in the name or tag, which makes it for an annoying search target. Triple Strike Ultimate, 2 skills. Activate main, pay 6 energy, choose Evil Wizard Babidi character trait card in your drop area or warp. Play the chosen card, then play this card from your hand on top of the card you played with the skill. And then also, when you play this card, if there is an Evil Wizard Babidi card under this card, choose up to 5 AOD cards from your drop area or warp and play them.
Nuts. It's nuts.
It's good that you can't recur it.
Oh, yeah.
In any way, you can shuffle it back or... Oh, wait. Wait. You can shuffle it back.
Can you?
Yes. Android 13 can shuffle back Evil Wizards. He's an Evil Wizard.
Oh, that's even better. Oh, my God.
You can't search it anyway, but you can recycle it.
Damn, that's actually impressive. That is impressive. Yeah, so I again, obviously you play this, you drop 4 AODs on the board. Is it 5? Sorry, 5 AODs.
5 AODs. Usually you're going to drop something with critical or load Slug to make your opponent drop hand.
Yeah.
This one has triple strike. Ideally, back in the days, you would drop 2 or 3 Geneva, and then Android 13 or Slug. And then you swing with all the criticals, because Geneva and 13 both had critical back then. You would get your skill from Geneva if it was played from the warp. Mill your opponent for a lot, untap a lot of energy, because free energy untap, and usually you did that on turn 2.
Yeah. That's
Child's Wish was a fair card.
Yeah, definitely, right?
Yes, doing this on turn 2, who wouldn't want to? And then you finish the game with a triple strike. Even if they survive, the damage they took from the criticals is going to stack up.
Yeah, and so it's a scary deck, and I believe you mentioned earlier that the price is actually already going up on Arcane Buu. It never was a cheap secret rare, to be fair.
It was 70 quid.
When?
Until last week.
Oh, really? Wow, okay. Never mind that point at all. Because I always remember it being over 100. Same with Broly. Broly's never been cheap.
No, I think up until last week it was still under 100. It started spiking again when there was an announcement that there's going to be AOD support.
Okay. Fair enough.
But yeah, if you bought it before that announcement, it was like 50, 60 quid because I was looking at selling mine.
Right.
It's not worth it at that price. And I'm not regretting the choice.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I mean, for all like the cards look great in person as well, like that. That's yeah. I think that covers everything for this archetype. So to sum it all up, I'm very excited to play this deck. I aren't really a hand control player, but there's so many ways you can take this deck. It's got aggro, it's got hand control, it's got control, it's got Aegis.
It is definitely a control type of attack.
Oh yeah.
So this is the worst nightmare of anyone who doesn't like to play against control, because it has big bodies with control effects that are cheap. Because it has 1 drops that are 15k, 2 drops that are 20k, and 3 drops that are 25k double strike critical.
Yes. Although one thing we do have to currently point out is the Android 13 doesn't actually work with the leader currently.
Yeah, I know, I've seen that. There's going to be, although they didn't do an errata on the 2-star. It's weird. I mean, Android 13 doesn't work at the moment, but I'm just going to be testing as it works, because
its wording is Agent of Destruction and the leader is Agents. So technically it fits the requirement, but it also doesn't. So
no, it doesn't.
But you know that's how it's intended to work.
Obviously, but you know where it came from. It's the same as all situations like that. The issue come from translation.
Yeah, they're trying to make it grammatically correct, and then it just, but it's because you can't. Yeah, you can't be a leader of a single. Yeah, but
that's what I was about to say. You can't call a leader of agent of destruction.
Yeah, so
that's the errata that's going to happen.
So I don't know. And I don't know whether it'll be changed to agents on 13, but I imagine it's going to be changed on Babidi, right?
Yeah, I think it's going to be changed to on Babidi and Boo to match Android 13, just so in the future they're going to make another Agent of Destruction leader.
Yeah.
Which I think they might.
Oh, I definitely think this is a statement from Bandai that this is an archetype now.
Yeah. As I said, I love Rainbow archetypes.
Yeah.
And if we're going to actually get a rotation or store championships or whatever, this is going to be in rotation for 2 years. We're going to lose the set 6 one, so we're going to lose the secret, which makes me more thinking that there might be another one coming.
Ooh.
There might be another boss monster. They already showed that they're going to be doing ultimates in promo slots.
Yeah.
So I would not be surprised if we're going to get another ultimate for AOD to replace Arcane Absorption.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's out of the realms of possibility. And judging by again, it's not 12 hours. Like, this news isn't 12 hours old yet. And what's it called? And people are already losing their minds over it. So it's definitely popular. And actually, I'm surprised at how popular it is. I'm very excited to see how popular it is. I have lots of hope for the future of Agents of Destruction, and for our first archetype analysis, I think we should basically say, because it's pretty affordable, and say if you're a hand control player or you like control, I think this is a definite must play.
I will also point something out.
Okay.
You do not need to play the secret.
No, you don't. Yeah, the secrets are nice.
Secret is a bomb. Don't get me wrong. Secret is a bomb, but you don't need to play it.
I definitely agree with you on that. Like, you can run this deck and it can be efficient without it. The secret doesn't make this deck. It just helps you secure that W.
The secret is the deck doesn't have any other bombs. It doesn't have any other boss monster. It doesn't have anything big that can drop. It doesn't have a 9-drop Sin Shenron.
No. But it also has lots of things that will whittle away your opponent's will to live.
Yeah, but that's the thing. All of the things are relatively big.
Yeah.
A 2-drop 20k is usually a vanilla.
Yeah.
And then here you have a 2-drop 20k with critical that kills your board and hand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a 1-drop 20k does not exist besides this archetype.
So yeah, if you like big chunky boys that control your board, this deck is definitely for you. If you like us analysing a full archetype, please let us know, because I really like doing this. Peter likes doing this because Peter can get technical and I can go, oh, it's pretty and it matches the theme, but also I'd play this. Like, I are a control player, but I'd play this deck. So Peter, final thoughts from your analysis of Age of Extinction.
Shall we grade the deck? What grade would you give it?
So what's our criteria?
Well, between A and F, right? The American grading system.
Okay. Right now, I would give it a B+.
I'm actually inclined to agree with you because the deck does a lot of things, but without the secret, it doesn't win on its own. And finding that one secret, if it's your last life, or depending on the secret, to win the game, is not exactly something you want to be doing.
No.
So I think B+.
Yeah.
Is perfectly fair.
Cool. Right. So what would you grade this deck? And what do you want to see us analyse next? Again, this is our opinions. And anything that we say based on market value is our own interpretations of it. And your money is your own money. Please spend responsibly. I've been Scott Sedman for London Players Guild. Peter has been the Guildmaster.
And also, we do not have any insider information.
That too, I guess. And on that bombshell, we shall see you soon. Let's go back again here. This time at the end of the video. Thanks again to our sponsors, and I hope you just enjoyed the video. This time I've got to ramble about what's in the description. So we've got our Facebook, our Twitch, our Patreon, our website. It's all down there, as well as the links to our sponsors, any guests or any special credits, and as always our community links are in there also. So our Discord, as well as the Digimon Facebook group and Dragon Ball Facebook group. More may be added in the future. Maybe. I don't know. This is past Scott. Future Scott could do whatever he wants. He's probably not going to do whatever he wants. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you. I hope you have a great day. We'll see you next time.